Hello, everybody out there in all social media lands. Welcome back to the M3 Blurred Hours here on the M3 channel that happens every Sunday at 5 o'clock. And I am one of your hosts, the Thick Knight, coming at you in my all blue, well, royal blue Zelda shirt and the hat to go with it. But hopefully you all had a good week, you're having a good day. But of course, I can't do this by myself. So I have my panel here. We have Mr. James over here in his Wolverine shirt.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
And he's looking he's looking bearded today too. And then we of course we have Mr. Papa Warden, Mr. Cedro down here in his Zelda shirt and his nasty pig hat with his beard looking bearded as well.
I pale in comparison to the two of you, but I try my best.
All right. So today is going to be a good day. We'll have a good show for y'all. And of course, I like to start out with I haven't done this in a while though. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna make a new one though, but it's gonna be fuck around and find out. Now, today's fuck around and find out comes from a show that at any point in time in this ex assassin's life can be a fuck around and find out moment because there is a bounty on his head that everybody's trying to collect from the organization or the creative of the guild, their guild of assassins. This is an anime called Sakamoto Days, and every day it seemed like, or every episode, they got these different assassins coming up trying to kill this man because he was known as the world's best assassin in his universe. Like you took Deadshot and Deathstroke and combined them two, and this is Sakamoto, along with some other abilities as well. But just to give you guys an idea of what they mean by the world's best assassin. But we do have a nice fight scene here where he's going against a character named Boyle, and him and Boyle had a nice fight. They did, but here's the clip.
どけ。地獄を見せる。家族はどこだ。自分で探せよ。ボム。坂本。俺とお前のハードボイルドだった。 どうあがこうが無駄だ。出た！女子から直問がってなんてうるせえねー！デブだよ。
Wait, isn't this the butterfly trilogy scene?
あばよ、坂本。
He thought. Oh, you thought he was dead.
3.5 グラム。俺の爆弾の配合を。ボイル。ここからは本気で行かせてもらう。なんだ。
No one still knows how he does that.
最強の小言か。今の俺の強さだ。ボイル。
And they both sitting there just chilling like.
坂本は。
We just had a fight. Like we didn't just have a fight.
So it's the catching the ball bombs and then rapidly punching him in the face with them as they explode. And the fact that yet again in an anime we have a fat character powering up by slimming down.
That was it. The Choji.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Like this butterfly Choji.
Right.
I don't know.
but even in his bigger form, he's still very powerful and kicks some ass. And then when he slows down, it's like it gets 10 times or 20 times stronger. And I'm just like, y'all could have kept him big. Y'all, actually, I would have preferred if he was slim at first and then got bigger and stronger. You know what I mean? Like I think I would have liked to see that a little bit more, other than the reverse effect of that. But
didn't Majin Buu do that too?
yeah, he did. He
Like,
started
there's been like a lot of like fat characters that in order for them to power up, they like the explanation is I'm concentrating all of my power into a smaller size, so that makes me stronger. And it's like, no, you're sort of fat shaming.
Right, kind of, sort of.
And maybe
not no.
Maybe
the
do
old
something
Olympic
better.
propaganda.
Oh gosh, Zet Bound.
Oh,
there's like 7 of them now.
Right.
I feel like all of TV is sponsored by weight loss drugs and plaque psoriasis medicine.
This the clip they're gonna use.
But you know what? It amazes me. We'll talk about size for a little bit, but it always amazes me when celebrities gain weight. Everybody has an issue with them gaining weight, and then when they turn around and lose weight, it's like, oh, they look so much better. They feel so much better. I mean, but you can't tell somebody how to feel about their own body. Just like the whole Omarion thing with his shirt off now on stage, and everybody's like, oh, he got man breasts, and I'm like, yeah, that happens to some people, especially even when they're working out. Men do develop a thicker chest, and sometimes they are a little not as muscular or as tight, but it's fine. Look, I am here for the man boobs. Okay, just to let y'all know, I am here for the. I have them myself, but
Same.
Right, I am here for them, and there everybody come on some. I would be. Some people were like, "I'll be on somebody's table soon." I would be getting plastic surgery if I had man boobs. They're not even. They weren't even that big. They were like little A cups or whatever. And I'm just like,
when people, it don't matter if you said something positive or negative. They will go get the surgery anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But the thing about Ozempic is that it has become such a thing, especially in celebrity culture, that people are abusing it, and now they look like soulless skulls walking around.
Wow.
A soulless skull. I appreciate.
Because one of the side effects of overusing Ozempic is that your facial features kind of suck. Eye socket sucking, cheeks suck.
You lose weight. Like when you lose, like your below your neck isn't the only, like your neck and below isn't the only place where you gain and lose weight.
Right.
And so some of these medicines and also some diets and or exercise, like you also can't always control how you lose weight. And some people lose weight faster in the face. Right. And we don't really realize how much like fat and musculature goes into how our face is designed. So like you start losing weight on your face, it can look, like you said, it can look sunken if if you lose too much in certain places.
Right.
Look, if it works for you, it works. I say I'm always for like all of us here on the council, we are all body positive people. So my thing is just be comfortable in how you look. Like you be comfortable with how you look, and the rest of everything else just doesn't really matter. Like you said, you can't tell people how to feel about themselves. People are going to give their opinions about how they feel about yourself.
Right.
But like as long as you feel comfortable how you are, then I'm happy for you.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna sit here and shame anybody for their size. Like are you kidding me? Like that's stupid. No, I was just gonna say, like, it just sometimes it can be as cool as aspects of that scene was. I sort of hate as a very diehard anime lover. I really hate when like those toxic tropes from anime keep like creeping their way back into like newer anime. Like, I kind of wish they found a different way to power him up. Now I get the idea that he used to look like this So maybe him going back to his old form is like his peak form, but it still sort of sends a message that his fatness is just a joke. And when he decides to actually get really serious, he loses weight. Like being healthy doesn't always mean being slim.
Right. That's true.
And I think that's something that people need to realize as well. There are lots of athletes, there are lots of professional athletes out there that have varying body sizes and are just as healthy, if not more healthy and in shape than any of us. Right.
Like look at the football players in wrestling. Like a bunch of bigger dudes.
Yeah, I would say those are two great examples. Just because the variety of body size is so big, there's so many different types of body sizes in wrestling, professional wrestling, and NFL. That like all of those people, for the most part, they're all really healthy. You know, they're all in shape, and you can have body sizes that range from like 300-pound guys to 195-pound guys, different heights, different shapes, different sizes. And so you can't really determine things based off of what society stereotypes them as. That's one. Two, your personal body health is your choice to make. It's not for other people to shame you into making.
Right.
So like what you want your body to look like is what you want your body to look like. I mean, how many of us know people who are gainers? And not like muscular gainers, but just like I just want to be fatter, and it's like that's okay too.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah.
I mean, but shout out to Sakamoto. I think he's
yes, it is. That anime is awesome. I can't wait. Was there a new episode yesterday? I didn't watch it yesterday. I was playing Monster Hunter Wilds, so I think I missed it yesterday. Playing Monster Hunter, but
I would be with these ass.
What's your weapon of choice in Monster Hunter? I know they have a lot of variety.
So right now, I'm okay. So my main one is the dual blades because I like dual wielding. As my secondary weapons, I've been messing around with either the arrow. I've done a bow. I've done a cannon, and I've done the glaive. And I think out of those three right now, I think the glaive. Well, they nerfed the glaive from Rise, so it's not really my go-to. I think I like the bow and arrow right now. So I'm still trying to figure out what my secondary is going to be permanently. So I just finished like part 1 of the story.
Okay.
So I'm still figuring it out. But my primary is the dual blades.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to move on to our next topic, which happened to be a Nintendo Direct that actually happened this week. I know last week before this, not last week, but a while ago, they had a Pokemon Direct just talking about, what's coming with Pokemon and Pokemon ZA, which we've seen the trailer for ZA. My question is anybody in the audience or on this panel actually interested in playing Pokemon ZA? Other than myself, because I did play Arceus, which I may go back and do. Since somebody told me they fixed the glitches now. Not sure how true that is.
I thought the whole game was
Wait a minute. So you mean tell me you didn't play Arceus because of the glitches, but you played the
wait,
mainline game?
Okay. No. Now to be
now you want to talk about glitches?
Yes, both Pokemon Violet and what was the other one? Violet and
Scarlet.
Scarlet, thank you.
I almost said Crimson.
I'm about to say something else too.
As soon as you said that, the only thing came to me was Steven Universe. I was about to say Ruby and Sapphire. So.
Right, me too. Like, look, I'm about to say Sapphire, but
we crystal gems.
But but yeah, those two games, yes, they were full of glitches that they did now. But Arceus the glitches was not the only reason I didn't play Arceus. It's just at the time I wasn't interested in it, but now I am. Like my interest with Pokemon games varies. Either I'm into it or I'm not, or I have different moments where I want to be like, you know what, I'll play a Pokemon game, but I don't have one at the moment because I traded in Violet to get something else that got my attention. So I may go back and play Arceus now, just to have a Pokemon game to play until ZA comes out.
The reason people like Arceus so much is they actually changed up a lot of stuff, especially with the battling and catching Pokemon.
Yeah,
because you can battle anywhere.
Can't you just like straight up go fisticuffs with a Pokemon by yourself in Arceus? Like, can't you just like run up to a Mudkip and like punch it? Like, I haven't played it, but that's because I'm the old man in the yard waving the stick. Like, I feel like I haven't had fun playing a Pokemon game since like old handheld.
Okay.
Like, I think like the last game that I played that I had fun playing was Pokemon White. And so like these newer 3D games, I just like Arceus to me is the closest to what I want that type of game to be like, but it's not it. I've seen enough gameplay to know that I wouldn't enjoy Arceus either. Like I'm waiting for Pokemon to finally give me the 3D Pokemon game I've always wanted. And they still haven't, and they put out like 3 or 4 games so far. I know it's never gonna happen. That's why I'm like, I'll just play the old handheld games.
Just play the card game and see you look.
Oh no, I hate the card game. Like for me, Pokemon is very specific. Like I am a Pokemon fan, but I only like the like Game Boy or Game Boy Advance sort of style Pokemon games. Everything else, like Pokemon Go, Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Snap, the card game, like I don't care. Even the show, I'm like, I don't care about this. Just give me another Pokemon game where I can collect them, fight them, find trainers, snatch their badges. And
well, what about Pokemon Pikachu and Eevee? That's more classic based. It's not like 3D like what we have now, but it's not.
Sure, but my thing is like I also don't like rewashes. And I feel like the Pokemon Eevee game is a gimmicky rewash. It's like we're not really giving you a new game. We're just giving you a game you've already had, but this time you can like have a Pikachu or an Eevee follow you around outside. And I'm like, I don't really care about that. I just give me a new region, give me a few new Pokemon, and make it good. And I just feel like Sword and Shield failed. Arceus, healthy scratch. ZA just feels like a DLC for Arceus. And I don't know. I know, like you said, I know it's never coming. But a bear can dream that Pokemon will eventually get their Breath of the Wild on.
It will. It just won't be legal.
I mean,
like I had more fun. I've had more fun playing like 3 hours of Pal World than I had playing like 20 hours. Than I had playing 20 hours of Pokemon Sword.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, we could do that. And it's funny because Pal World is not like Pokemon at all.
No,
besides the like
the copycat mon,
the actual creature designs. Because the games are different. Like Pal World is very much a survival, like camp building sort of game, and Pokemon is like a classic JRPG.
Right.
And so they're just very different. But Pokemon's just been a disappointment to me for a while. So I haven't really been on the bandwagon in like a decade.
Oh, that's understandable. We understand. Trust us.
The last one I played was Arceus because it was close to the experience I wanted, where it's not so curated. Like when you go into the field, you can throw a Pokeball and actually catch them. Not wait till you get in the battle, then right. And the real time battles were really fun. Like, I don't have to wait to go to a cut screen. I can throw my Pokeball and them duking it out. So they're trying, but like I said, I think one YouTuber said that Pokemon is just like another money maker. That's not their main way they make money, so they're not really worried about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but they've done that. They've done it to us for a while. That's basically, unfortunately, it's sort of Nintendo's in general. It's sort of their bread and butter, which is like, we have a very strong, loyal fan base.
Very loyal.
As a result, we don't really have to put as much budget or quality into things, and we still can reap benefits. And so we'll just sort of keep doing that because y'all won't boycott us long enough for us to make the changes. Like, the Nintendo community is not going to Sonic the Hedgehog Nintendo. Like, they're not gonna be like, this is bad, do better now.
Right.
It's not gonna happen. Because Nintendo will just put out something and people are like, oh my God, Kirby, so cute. And I'll just buy it. Now, that's probably a terrible example because the Kirby game is probably like the only consistently or like only good game that the Switch has put out in like the last year and a half, 2 years. Actually, fun fact, the Kirby, what is it, Kirby in the, it's not Crystal Shards, that's an older game. I can't remember what the name of the new Kirby World game is, but it's the only Nintendo Switch game that like hasn't had a patch since day one. Like most other games that are out now, like they always have patches and updates, and like that game has not had one yet, and it works actually pretty smooth.
Is it Return to Dream Island? That's the one?
No, I don't think so. You know what? Do not catch me lying. It is
The Forbidden Land.
Yes, that one. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Kirby, the Forbidden Lands. The one where it's like he can fuse with like a refrigerator or a car. And
I think I played the demo for that one.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty. Like, if you like a Kirby game, it's a great Kirby game. It's a cool platformer. It works. But we all know that Nintendo's their calling card is like, we're gonna try a little, and y'all are gonna pay us money.
Right, we're gonna push the envelope a little bit in a different direction with Pokemon, and you guys will still like it and give us money. Yeah.
I mean, there are some IPs for Nintendo that they do really put a lot of effort in every time.
Yes. Yes.
It's one of them.
Yes.
You know, like Smash Brothers, most Mario things, although Mario now has started to get a little Pokemon-y, where it's like, we're just putting out stuff that has Mario's name on it, and the games themselves aren't as, like, Mario Luigi Brothership was a little whack to me. I did have fun with
Princess
Wonder.
Oh, Mario Wonders,
yeah, Super Mario Wonder. That was really fun. It was too short for me. Like, I played it, and I feel like in a handful of hours I was done, and I wasn't expecting it to be over so quickly. But that was also a fun game. The Peach game, I liked the fact that they tried to do something different with Peach and not just like a classic. But come on, like, we looked at that and we were like, this is the best y'all can do graphics wise. Like, at this point, like, you could have tried a little harder with some of this stuff. And so I feel like Peach was done a little dirty.
But okay, but moving on to so there was a Nintendo Direct, and we are going to show you guys and give our thoughts on some of the games that we saw that we liked, that we were interested. I think James had some.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on, let me get posted up real quick. But the first one, because I'm a big RPG fan, was Dragon Quest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the 1 and 2 HD remake?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I never played them.
I never played any Dragon Quest, I don't think.
Because this is a new experience for me, so I never played them. So I was like, "Oh, this looks good." Like, they really put effort into the remake.
Okay.
Because I was comparing them, I said, "Okay, what's the difference between?" And yeah, they did some graphical upgrades, because this game the older Nintendo games, the sprites, they updated the sprites and stuff like that. But here's the trailer, Devon.
Okay.
Like I said, you don't have to play the whole thing, but play a little bit.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, the most I've played of Dragon Quest is fighting against Hero in Smash Brothers.
But like I said, if you like Kingdom, like old time story, Kingdom Wars, it's really fun. And I love the music.
Okay.
That's good. You don't have to.
Okay. All right. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've never played. I know that if you get the Pokemon Online, I mean not Pokemon, but the Switch Online, they do actually have some Dragon Quest games in there underneath Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
The other segment. So, but I never played any of the Dragon Quest. And every time I've tried, and I'm like, okay, what do I do? Because I've never, and I'm like, maybe it's because nowadays we're too spoiled on. If we don't know what to do, we're gonna go look it up on YouTube. But back in the days of we didn't have the internet back when that was out, and we only had game packs or whatever.
We had game magazines. We used to buy.
Right, that too. Yep. We had strategy guys. We had strategy guys, and we had game facts. But before YouTube started giving us guides and stuff to get through games, back in the days of.
So I'll tell you, my printer went through hell because I'm not downloaded.
There were many games, man. But I tell you, right, there were many games where I was like, "What do I do? What do I do?" And then I'm like, and I would spend like hours there trying to figure out what to do next. And I'm just like, "Oh, that was it. That was so fucking simple." But but I didn't know what to do. I was, stuck until I came across Game Facts. Was the first thing that people went to. That I know of, and then we got YouTube later on.
and come to find out, a lot of people don't write those manuals and guides.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of it wrong. So people were looking for stuff that they really wasn't in the game.
Yeah, I do remember one game on the Game Facts doing that to me. I'm like, this ain't right. That's not what I need. I still can't win. I'm still stuck. Yeah.
There's a lot of unreliable stuff. Now, I'll say that the thing that I do miss about the advent of game like things showing you what to do in games online, I actually prefer reading it with like screenshots than watching a video where somebody shows me how to do it.
Right.
Okay.
Because for me, I read much faster than like a video plays. And so if I have to sit through 10 minutes of you trying to explain to me how to do something when you could have just typed it in a paragraph and shown me a screenshot of what like the place looked like once I got there, I can do that quick. And it's like sometimes I hate having to like try to scroll through the video to be like, where is the part that I need?
Right, exactly. Because they never give you
read it on a go ahead.
Because sometimes they never give you the part that you actually like. You've already done all of this, and this is one part that I need this part right here, and it's like you got to go through 10, 15 minutes of them explaining.
Right.
I'm like, no, that's not what I need. I need just this part here.
Go to Celestia, like you go to Game Facts, you like go to Celestia, you take a left, you take a right.
Right.
You look under this and you get this.
Right.
That's what I needed. Thank you.
Because sometimes they'll also be in different places too. So they'll explain to you, like I've watched a lot of how-to videos in aspects of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Especially when it comes to, because in Tears of the Kingdom, I was really interested in finding the random. I was really interested in finding the random suits that you could wear in the game. And so I would go across, like, I would watch the video and they'd be telling me something, sort of assuming I had never collected this outfit before. And I'm like, I don't need the 15 minutes of this explaining. I just need like the 5 seconds where you're at the temple or you're at
Right.
like the place, and how do you get across, or like how do you where do you find X, Y, and Z? And sometimes they just go a little too far.
Yeah.
But that is sort of the nature of how things are. Like every how-to now is not explained through text; it's explained through video,
Right.
which has its benefits and detriments. I think the benefit is most people, because because most of us have the ability to see, are visual in a lot of ways, especially when it comes to that. Um, I think the detriment is that you stop sort of being able to articulate things. You know, it's like people have a lot harder time articulating stuff now, and I think it's mainly because of the fact that most of the stuff that we do is video and like picture based now,
Right.
as opposed to actually like typing or texting, or like even texting is just like it's a bunch of abbreviations. But whenever we want to explain how we feel, we don't actually articulate how we feel with words. We just show a picture of somebody from something, or a GIF of some clip of something that's popular. It's like, this is how I feel. It's like, well, what does that even mean? Is it words? Like, you know, like I can't tell you how many times people have just sent me something where it's just the GIF of Viola Davis picking up her purse and walking away.
Right. That can have many meanings.
I was like, this has like 17,000 different meanings. Like, can you give me the words that tell me?
Well, are you bored? Are you upset?
Right.
Are you irritated? What?
Are you all of the above? Also, there's like 1,000 different clips of people picking up their purses and leaving, including the LeBron James one.
Oh, I love that one. I love that one. He just okay. All right. We're gonna move on to our next one. You got another one, James?
Yeah. Here's one, The Mystery of the Soulless Army. Because I'm a big Persona fan. So, of course, when they say they're going to remaster this game, I'm like, yes, please, take my money.
Oh, Rido.
Yeah, Rido.
Rido remastered. Okay. I got you. Yeah, when I saw that trailer, I was like, I think James would be interested in this. Because I remember you said how much you enjoy those types of like JRPG sort of.
Yeah. This is adult Pokemon. This is like Detective Pikachu meets.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can go ahead and play it.
Okay.
Rido!
It's just like Pokemon. Like you can say, yeah, turn it down.
But here, in the Taisho era, we're the only detectives that specialize in that sort of thing. Yes, this is the Narumi Detective Agency.
Please, sir. Please, help.
Rido, got a case. Let's roll. It's time.
Oh, we got a little bandit happening.
Yeah,
right.
What?
The dark
Here you go, Cedro. You said you wanted to fight the monster
between the real world
while you have
and the netherworld.
Bravo, detective. Or should I say, Devon
Rasputin.
Kuzo no ha?
You may call me Goto.
Yes.
Take it easy. That's my motto. I'd go, but it's easier for you anyway.
Hello there, Mr. Narumi. And listen to me for a minute, okay?
So, I ask, are you prepared to lead the life of a devil summoner?
I love the 90s anime music. And the fact that it's also got that classic storyline where it's clearly something supernatural. The main character always has like a sword for whatever reason and is badass with it. Yes. And then there's always a random black cat that can talk.
Yes.
Like always. It's like
always. It's, like I say, it's for every brooding anime character, they always gonna have a cat.
Yes.
Right.
But so
you can call me Goto.
Right. So truth be told, I actually played When I saw this trailer, I was like, "Oh, I think I actually played Devil Summoner back in the day when I think it was on PS2. I played it, but of course before YouTube, I got stuck and I could not figure out what to do. So I ended up trying to get into GameStop. I wish I would. Okay, so let me tell you how much patience I gave this game. I bought it once, could not figure out what to do. I was like, okay, well, I'll come back to it. Then got it again. It was like, okay, I'm gonna try it again. Maybe I missed something. Maybe back then I just wasn't, looking at everything. Buy it again. Still couldn't figure out what to do. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm just gonna give up on this for now. And then the other day, when I started learning that YouTube does videos, I was like, I wonder if that game will ever come back on like a PS4 or PS5. And here we are, years later. So I am going to try this game again for the third time.
Right. Well, there's different Devil Summoners now.
Okay.
This probably ain't the one you got stuck on.
Yeah. But I will try this universe again for the third time.
But like I said, it just
maybe third time is the charm on this one.
Right. like I said before, this is adult Pokemon to me.
Yeah.
This is basically what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can collect monsters, and I can you can fuse them
and
make them stronger. Battle, and like Cedar said before, you
got a sword.
You can battle. Here you go.
You got a sword, and you can pull out the blinky, and you got a blinky and a sword. I mean, what
it's like if you like Pokemon, if you like Bayonetta, if you like
Devil May Cry.
Yep, Devil May Cry, stuff like that, all in one.
There you go.
And like I said, the stories are always good.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least so convoluted that they're interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
Like even if the story's not good, like you can always count on the JRPG to just give you a lot of stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh my God, she's stuck in an eternal sleep, and we need to get this medicine from this tower in this mountain in this region in order to save her. But in order to do that, we have to control our bubble weapons. It's like, wait, what? It's
what?
Like, by the time you get through, you're just like, I don't know what happened, but I had fun.
Right. And with this game, they're actually grown people and not teenage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care
helps.
what. Right.
Pokemon loves to throw a 10 to 12-year-old in your face and be like, go out in the world on your own. Like, did Ash ever have a birthday? Or did he stay 10?
We don't know. Ash never had, as far as we've seen in the series.
I thought they said
was he 10?
Right, he was 10, 11 years old.
Do you know
I think around the end of the series,
you know who else has been 10 for over
12.
30 years?
Bart
Simpson. Yeah.
No,
like
because in one season said he was 11.
Right.
I think around the end
he was maybe 13, 12 or 13
12
years old.
13.
Ash.
He was
Ash, right.
He was booked.
Ash was
Like
12
he
or 13 by the
booked.
end.
You know how many adventures he had?
Right.
In 10 to 13?
Girl,
My goodness.
not even that. You know how many times
He
got killed?
He never rested. He didn't grow older. He never rested. He went home to wash his laundry at his mom's house, and he was back on the road after a day or two. He went home, switched his Pokemon out, did his laundry, and said, "Bye, Mom." That's basically what he did every time.
I only got one book bag with the same outfit.
Right, but he did change outfits in book bags eventually. So
We talk about bad anime parents all the time. Do we ever put Ash's mom into that category?
No, for some reason we don't.
Because I don't know any parent that would just be like,
"You're 10 years old. Go out on adventures and battle with Pokemon."
I'm gonna send you off with a creature into the forest. And
like she gave him
no way of communicating me till you get to the destination.
She gave him a couple of Rice Krispie treats and a Capri Sun and a Pikachu. It was like, good luck. It's like, good luck.
Not a Capri Sun.
And mind you, not even the creature that obeyed. He got the leftover creature that hated him at first.
Right, exactly.
Not even the good Lunchables. Just Not even the good Capri Sun. She gave him like the cactus cooler.
Oh boy.
All the little packages that say snack.
Right.
Or the onigiri or whatever that they said were cookies in the the English version. This is a good cookie.
No, it was a donut. It was a donut.
Oh, donut. Okay.
He was holding a rice ball. He was like, "This is a good donut." He was like, "Girl, that's a rice ball."
Right.
For 4 kids, you should be ashamed.
Talking about the donuts that are like rice balls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because for 4 kids didn't think we would understand a rice ball.
Right.
For 4 kids should be shamed because they changed a whole lot of stuff that makes sense. But anyway,
right. The sushi, like we know it was a sushi rice ball, but of course y'all think American children aren't cultured enough or educated enough to know what a sushi rice ball is, but the adults do.
I mean, my thing is, why would you debate whether a child is educated enough to understand food? Why don't you just tell them what the food is?
Right.
And they learn through you. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you really think American kids don't know what a rice ball is, and maybe a lot of them at the time didn't, like, couldn't you just educate them by having it be like, this is a tasty rice ball? And then the kids can be like, Mom, what's a rice ball? Or maybe call it its actual Japanese. Like, I just, it's weird to me how it always seems like everyone above or makes the choices about the media that we consume constantly dumbs it down instead of actually propels us to be educated. Right. You know what I mean? Like especially when it comes to kids, especially in the 90s.
Right. And of course they want to dumb us down anyway, with the trying to remove the Department of Education any goddamn way. I'm like, yeah, that's just the way America works right now.
That's a whole other disaster for a whole.
It is. Yeah, right. It really is. It's just like, wow.
But it's just like, you know what? We can't have these normal voices. So we just gonna give Joey Wheeler the most Jersey.
I'm Joey Wheeler. Hey,
like,
right, sir. You live
relatable,
right? You live in Japan, but you have a Jersey accent. Well, why? Why does this happen?
But the craziest part is that it would actually. This is the thing. We're all right. It's horrible. It's a horrible idea. However, it would work. It actually could work if we didn't have Joey's little sister. Who had a regular American accent in the same show. Like, if it was just Joey and we never met his family,
right?
It'd be like, okay, that's fine. Because they basically did the same thing with Kuwabara in Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
As far as like the way that he talked was like very just different. But the issue is like Joey's accent was so bad and so distinct. And then his sister would be like, hey, Joey. And you're like, well, why doesn't she talk like Fran Drescher or,
right?
Like, what are we doing here? Some just bad choices. And I'm not going to get started on marriage.
If she run out and say, this is my stepbrother Joey. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay,
right. That's stepbrother though. But okay.
This is my half sibling, Joey.
This is my brother from another mother.
Right. Anyway,
okay.
Please tell me the next one is Metroid.
No, Devon.
I got Metroid.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, we can play that next since we brought it up. You can go ahead, Devon.
Okay, here we go.
So we got Metroid 4 coming. Well, maybe set it up first. But Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Yes.
Been talked about forever.
Yes.
Hasn't been released yet, and
this was announced in 2017.
I know, forever. Like since because 2017 is when the Switch came out.
Yeah,
like since the beginning of the Switch,
the first iteration.
Like, where is the Metroid game? And they're like, it's coming. Here's a little bit of a sample of what it might look like, and we're like, okay, cool. And then 2 years later, we're like, so that Metroid game, right? And they're like, and then disappeared. Like COVID helped them sort of like stay quiet.
Right.
And then 2022 rolled around, and we were like, okay, so this Metroid game, and they're like, well, here's a teaser of what it's gonna look like, and we're like, this looks cool. When is it coming? Soon.
You know what?
2026 now. Like they were
basically they gave Metroid the Kingdom Hearts treatment. They'll give us a teaser. Like remember,
from 2 to 3 was 10 years. You know how many? I know I'm gonna sound morbid for a minute. You know how many people died over 10 years?
Never got a chance to play any of those games. Because look, we actually have another Kingdom Hearts game coming out that got announced 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 4 now, and it's still ain't seen shit.
Look, I think they really just feel like because of how quickly the news cycle turns, I really think that they have banked on the fact, like not they, like the Kingdom Hearts people, but gaming companies in general. I think they just bank on the fact that people forget.
Yeah.
Because some of the stuff is like if I show you a tease of something, get you excited about it, and then disappear for 4 years, you'll be even more excited when I finally put it out. And it's like, but I'm also going to be mad that you ghosted me for 4 years. Like, could you imagine going on a date with somebody, having like the absolute best time of your life? Mm-hmm. Both of y'all are like, this is great, this is wonderful, we should do this again. And then they ghost you for 5 years and then pop back in like, so when are we going on our second date? Like, this is what these gaming companies are doing to us.
Right.
And I'm just not, my heart's not able to take it.
This number is no longer in service.
Right.
Like, you be texting, you calling, you checking their Facebook, their email, and like nothing. Just absolutely nothing. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, hey, remember me? like
wow.
You.
No, I don't. But okay.
Knowing my ADD, so I was like, who?
Who are you?
If I don't see people on a daily basis, I forget you quick.
Look, I go through that a lot with people. They be like, remember we met? When did we meet? Did we develop a rapport? Did we talk afterwards? No. Then I don't remember you.
I mean,
I don't remember you.
I don't know.
In Miss Williams' third grade class, I sat in the third row from the back. You remember me? No, girl, I don't remember
you. Like, I never had people do that to me all the way from high school. Okay.
Devon, it's a little hard to remember people when you meet so many. And I don't mean it in any sort of like fast way. I just mean like you have a lot of like you do a lot of social events based on like M3 and other stuff. And so like I could see forgetting a person. Like, you're like, oh yeah, we met back in 2015 in Chicago, and you're like,
right?
Who?
I'm sorry.
Right. I don't remember what I had last week for breakfast, so I don't remember you.
I don't remember you. And what gets me is about some people, they'll play along like, oh yeah, like, I don't got that time because you got, cause especially at an event, and they gonna keep coming up to you and talking to you. Like, girl, I don't remember you.
Right. I don't quite understand the games that people play. Like, what is the validation? Not what's the validation, but like, what do you really get out of somebody or playing with somebody about remembering them or not? You know how some people, it's like they won't just say like, hey, I'm this person. We met here. Fact. Let's move on. Let's progress further in life.
Right.
Usually it's like, do you remember me? Let me give you a pop quiz. Oh, you don't remember me? And it's like, I clearly don't. Tell me who you are.
Man.
Right. Exactly. And
it's not that I hate you. It's not that you weren't memorable or whatever the case may be. It's just that like life makes adult humans interact with a lot of other adult humans. So if I've only interacted with you once in my entire life, like expecting me to remember the details of every aspect about that, when clearly you have done so for me. Mm-hmm. Like clearly I made a huge impression on you because you're coming in my grill like we're best friends and we only spoke like 2 sentences to each other.
Right.
12 years ago.
Like,
and somehow it was like the most important 2 sentences you ever got in your life.
Exactly. And I know.
And so it's just like why play the game? Just say, this is who I am. This is where we met. You may not remember me, but I remember you. And here I am again. You know what I mean? It's like you can just move on then.
Right.
This
yeah.
weird like playing a pop quiz to see how many details they remember about you. It's like I don't even, especially because 10 years is a lot of time. Like people change
Right.
a lot
Like,
in appearance sometimes, like in that span of time, and you're expecting me to
right.
sorry.
You know how many trauma situations I've been through? No, I don't remember you.
Right. You know how much PTSD issues I've had since. No, I don't remember you. No, I don't.
I'm trying to keep it together now. So
I'm trying to keep it together and keep my mental in a good place. I don't remember.
right.
You. But
So sorry,
I'll
Susie,
remember
I
how
don't
you.
remember you from
I'll
the back of
remember
the
how
class.
you played a game. I'll remember how you played a game against me. You know, like there are people that have come up. It's like, oh, I'm this person. I such and such and such at this tournament, and I'm like, oh, you were that Captain Falcon that was giving me some trouble. It's like, okay, I'll remember that. I don't know if I'll look over and be like, oh, these are the details of that guy's face.
Right,
like,
right. All right.
It's like the
Like
fucking Captain Falcon needs to die.
Right. And some people get so mad about that. Like,
right, they do. And I'm like, why are you mad? But anyway,
because I think they visualize it as something more. I think they visualize it as like mutual.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like how, like, I'm sure we've all had this where we have people in our lives that if somebody else talked to them about us, they would probably say that we're friends. But like friendship is a two-way street. If I don't consider us friends,
right,
but you do, then we're not friends. You know, it's almost like a classroom where you can only move as as fast as the slowest person. Like, if I don't consider us friends, we're not friends. If you don't consider us friends, then we're not friends. So like this sort of, sometimes people get in their heads these interactions they think are a lot more mutual. Like, I remember you from this distinct moment 10 years ago. And they think like, you'll remember me too. Or that's like a self-validation for them that sort of is missing when it doesn't happen. And it's not, what's the expression? There's no shade to them, but people encounter a lot of people in 10 years.
Yeah.
You know? And so I just, to sort of play with that instead of just giving the facts and moving on is such a weird thing to me.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to play this weird game with somebody and then get mad at them because they don't remember me. I'm just going to be like, this is who I am.
Right.
This is where we met. Okay, next thing. Like,
and just like the whole saying, if you say a lie, you gotta keep up with that lie. So you gotta keep up pretending like you know them, but you don't know nothing.
I know nothing.
Like,
I do not play that game. I'm like, if somebody comes up to me
I
and
won't
they
either.
act like they know me, I'm just like, who are you? Or where did we meet? Because sometimes what also happens is I guess sometimes I have a familiar face, or maybe people follow me somewhere else and have followed me, but I've never known that they were following me, like on social media. I mean, not in real life.
Right.
But then they do this thing where they're like, do I know you from somewhere? Is the dumbest question I feel like people ask to other people in social situations. I don't know. Do you know me from somewhere? Like,
right.
What am I supposed to say?
Right.
You just look familiar to me. And so you saying that to me is somehow going to trigger my ability to remind you of how you remember me. Like, it's weird. I'm like, just...
Like, I'm a bald black man with glasses. There's a whole lot of people that look like me.
Right. Or you know, it goes. It also when people tell because I've had people do this to me, like you remember your friend that I met? Which one? The one that was bald headed with glasses. I have a lot.
Girl, that's my whole friend group.
I have a lot, and they be like, "Can you be more specific? Like, what else?"
Can you give me an initial or something?
Like details are weird. Like, it's weird how people withhold details when they're trying to talk to you about like being clear about something. It's like, oh yeah, they were such and such. They were like 5'10". Why are you giving me their height and weight? What's their name? Like, what are we playing here?
Right.
Like, can you tell me anything more useful?
I need something distinct. Like, was there a distinct mark? Did they have a distinct shirt?
Do they have a tattoo or earring?
Earring, something. What?
Please tell me you've gotten the people who, when you tell them that you are from a certain place or you went to a certain school, they will immediately ask you about some random person that also lives in that place. Like I was in college. I was in college in Atlanta, and they're like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "I'm from Baltimore, Maryland." Oh, Baltimore? Do you know so and so? You realize this city has like millions of people in its metropolitan area, and you're just
throwing out
I might
a random name and person like I don't know.
Or they'll I've gotten the college thing too where like it makes sense if like I went to a college that was relatively small or whatnot, and I guess I technically did numbers wise, but people will ask you, "Oh, you went here? Oh, do you know so and so?" And then my first question is like usually it's no, and then it's well, when did they graduate? And they'll like I will have already told them that I finished in like 2011, and they will immediately be like, "Oh, they graduated in 98." And I'm like, there's no way we probably ever met.
Right.
Yes, I went back in time.
Like just I understand you're trying to make a connection.
A connection.
But
and try to further the conversation, but like you have to know that that's not gonna work. Okay, never mind. We can go to Metroid Prime.
We have a comment though from AK. Thank you. What's up, AK? He says all the homies bald headed and farsighted.
Right.
Okay. Well, let's get to this Metroid Prime trailer. Here we go.
Love a good choral.
All right.
This is the unknown planet Vuros. Here, Samus finds a verdant jungle with a colossal tree at its center. In order to survive and escape this planet that she was unexpectedly transported to, Samus must scan stone figures and other relics to carve a path forward.
Like it definitely looks good.
She's not alone though. Abhorrent alien creatures living in the jungle are waiting to strike.
I hope so.
As she explores the planet, Samus is granted mysterious and ancient powers. Psychic abilities.
Jean Grey.
These powers allow Samus to operate mechanisms.
Except Samus don't pass out.
They also allow her to control the trajectory of her beams with the power of her mind.
Okay, bullet time.
But why were these powers bestowed upon Samus?
Because they needed a new gimmick for the new game. Why did she get these new powers?
And y'all had almost 10 years to work out stuff.
And what will be her fate after being summoned to Vuros? The threads intertwining beyond space and time are beginning to weave a new tale.
Yeah, she's like, I have the force now.
Right. Oh, and what is I guess it cut off at again. Apparently there's a new suit, like a new red and what other color? Red and not red and black. But it was a new suit at the end that looks amazing.
Okay.
And so
that would be $10.99.
You know, I always appreciated the newer Metroid games because of the first person shooter aspect. I'm not really a first
Right.
person shooter player, although I probably will play this. Um, it kind of reminds me of like a Nintendo version of a Doom or a Halo,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like you're just an alien in a suit, or not an alien, but a humanoid in a suit, and you're shooting aliens. Looks like it's going to be pretty fun. I'm interested about the psychic abilities.
Yeah.
Because it looks like it's not just going to be able to be used in combat, but you're also going to be solving puzzles using it.
Right.
So there's sort of I don't know, there's sort of like a Breath of the Wild element to it. You know, like Link wakes up in this foreign place, he's suddenly bestowed with like powers. He like doesn't really know what's going on, but like he can use them to move stuff. And so there's a lot of elements to this that I think are working for it. Also, it's a Metroid game, huge cult following. A lot of people have been waiting for a Metroid sequel.
Right.
I think it'll be good. I think the one knock that I have against it is that as good as it looks, it doesn't necessarily look like 2025. Like it looks like something that we could have gotten 2 years after the Switch dropped, and still felt like it was like, or felt like it was a little more advanced visually for what the Switch was doing at the time. So it doesn't feel like super advanced that way, but we know that the Switch is never necessarily like that's never been its calling card. So, but this looks, I mean, it looks good. It looks like it'll be fun. Samus, always a popular character. Tired of having to play against her in Smash Brothers.
Finally, a new Metroid game. Santa finally got around to reading my letter. Well, I got chest hair and a mortgage now, so really.
Girl.
Hey.
Now hold on now. They ain't give us an exact date.
Right.
They still didn't.
They could snatch it back.
Right. Hold on. Did they give us a release date for this?
No.
No, just 2025 launch. Just 2025 launch window.
Okay.
It's a we're delaying.
Right. Well, we have a delay. Okay. But yeah. So I actually I've never played. I'm not heavy into the Metroid games, but this might be one I actually do play. Yeah, I will play this one, and maybe one if there's any other ones before it, like that's in first person shooting, I'll give those a try. But I think the next game we're gonna get to is so if you saw Secret Level, you saw something to this. It's called Shadow Labyrinth, and so, but in Secret Level, this was like a twisted, dark version of Pac-Man, which is what I was just like, where did this even come from? And now we do have an idea of where it came from, and this is it. This is Shadow Labyrinth.
Get a new companion.
You have been chosen.
You always be chosen.
We can do volume
And
down.
we have
Just
work
low.
to do, number 8.
You are always chosen.
Hold on.
And we have work to do, number 8.
7 of 9.
Right. Number 8.
Like, do I really want to play this game? I know how it ends.
You wield your weapon well. But sometimes a swordsman needs more than a sword.
You can even fuse with him to become a Digimon.
Don't just defeat enemies.
Right.
Consume them.
Crest of gluttony.
Right.
Embrace your true purpose. Become the apex predator.
You know what? If they would have, and it comes out July 18th of this year. Now, if they would have started out the trailer with "You must be hungry," I'd have been like, "See, secret level, you must be hungry." But yeah, but yeah, that was like I do want to play that game. I don't know how it ends because James said that earlier, but I do want to play that game. I don't know how it ends. Is Shadow Labyrinth a remake of something or is it something new?
No, I think
it's new.
A new IP.
Okay.
It's new.
Okay.
It's new. I mean, not basically, but I would reductively describe it as, you know how like Winnie the Pooh and like Popeye and all these other characters became public domain, and then people just like, let's just make a horror movie. Let's go as dark and twisted as possible. Like that's sort of what it feels like somebody did with Pac-Man. It looks like a solid game. Like as far as the Metroidvania sort of Hollow Knight style sort of game where you're going around trying to figure out your way in a place, battling monsters, having boss battles, also using, it seems like, unique powers, also the ability to combine with the Pac-Man orb and like do Pac-Man stuff occasionally.
Right.
It's clear that they decided to go out on a limb, and I think that to me, I think it's kind of smart. Will I play this game? Probably not. But it looks cool. Like it looks like a cool idea, and I think people who would generally enjoy those styles of games would really enjoy whatever this is giving.
Okay.
I'm still a little bit more of a Hollow Knight type fan, and so I'm just waiting for Silk Song to come out.
Okay. Did you
so
ever?
I'll pass on this.
Okay.
But I think it looks cool. Like the idea of it is cool, and I'd play this before I play original Pac-Man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like if I want to play Pac-Man, I would do something like this because y'all know I love dark and twisted stuff. So like like this would be right up my alley. And I might like eventually if it shows up on Game Pass and like I don't have anything else to do. I'm like, you know what? I'll spend an hour or two like doing this post-apocalyptic sci-fi Pac-Man game.
Did you ever beat Hollow Knight?
No, I have not. But I also haven't. It's not that I haven't. It's not that I've failed at doing it. It's like I just haven't gotten back to the game and finished the last part of it. But I'm maybe about 70%.
Okay.
But having a really good time though. Like that game was a little frightening at first, but I thought it was really fun.
It's the same for me with Little Nightmares. I haven't finished the first one, but I have such a good time playing it, and also a terrifying time playing it too. Like, but there were times when my heart rate did go up a little bit. Like, oh, okay, it's not that bad, but I got away. But yes, it's a good fun time as well.
It's funny. I'm just thinking of a child. He's like, Grandpa, I play Pac-Man. Hey, like, oh, really? Yeah. You go through these dungeons and you eat these other creatures. And Grandpa like, what the fuck?
That's not Pac-Man.
Well, I didn't really call them dungeons in my day. They were more like a maze. And then no, I think it would be funny if like the grandpa was like, y'all don't know anything about Pac-Man. And the kid's like, what do you mean? I play Pac-Man. We can play Pac-Man now. And he's like, okay, pull it up. And he pulls it up and it's a shadow.
Breath. Right.
What is
and he slowly turns to the child. Like,
what is this, witchcraft?
Blasphemy.
Right.
It's like, see, there's Pac-Man right there.
He's so cool.
As he slices the head off of a monster.
Right.
Oh, this is different. Where are the ghosts? Where's Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde?
I love Winnie the Pooh. It always scares me. What?
But did you have another one, James, before I show?
Yeah, I did. Okay. It was the Marvel one.
Oh, okay. I was going to show that one next too. Okay.
What's the total number left?
That's it for me.
Yeah, this is for me. Yeah.
Really? Nobody? Okay, I'll talk about the other thing after we.
Well, I have my mention.
Well, I do have one. The Zelda, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that technically wasn't the direct. That was like released on the app, like the next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Later that day or the next day. So technically, it wasn't part of it.
Right.
I got you.
Okay.
So one of my mentions I just want to look more into was Witchbrook. So I love that one of the little cozy games.
Okay.
You being a witch or a wizard going to a school and doing this stuff around town.
So Harry Potter. I'm just kidding.
The witchery life sim, yeah.
Yeah.
Cozy Witch Academy.
Right. You can go ahead and play it.
Oh, okay.
Just turn it down just a little bit.
Oh yeah, I don't know why it's so loud.
Hold on. Okay.
Go on.
The only reason why I'm going to this game.
Right.
This feels like an intro to a cartoon that was supposed to come out in the late 90s.
Is that Captain Marvel?
Yep.
Oh.
That was given.
Nova.
Late 90s. I'm an edge lord kind of.
Oh, beat 'em up.
You have to beat 'em up, yeah. I can't wait to play this. Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
Right.
Marvel's Cosmic Invasion. Is the main villain, what's his name? I can't.
Is it?
Hold on.
Well, while you look that up,
yeah,
my mention was gonna be the like hand animated Cuphead style game, The Eternal Life of Goldman. It's like you're like an old man with a cane, but the animation style is like
upgrade the cane.
Yeah, and the animation style is like the way Cuphead is sort of animated. And it also has like a very similar gameplay style. I don't think it's from the same people, but it has it's a hand animated style, which is basically the same sort of animation style. It looks fun, and kind of interesting. Like I'm interested more in the lore.
Right.
Like sometimes, like James, you and I talk about this. We watch a game. Like sometimes, maybe the game itself isn't the most interesting, but the world is.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I kind of want to see what this world is. But definitely check that out if you haven't yet. It's called The Eternal Life of Goldman.
Yeah.
Did you figure out what the villain was?
Yeah, I think it's a nihilist.
Oh.
Yeah.
Her?
It's a nihilist. Which because at first it looked like Ultron, but I'm like, no, looking at it more detailed, it is a nihilist. So
a nihilist, wasn't he a Fantastic Four villain?
Yep.
Or that's around when he started.
Yeah, but he can be a Thanos level threat kind of villain. He can be. He doesn't come out the gate that way, but he can be one. He's one of those ones that can be a threat like that. So because at first I was like, is that Ultron that I have to do? I had to look like, no, that's a nihilist. Yeah, definitely a nihilist.
Well, like I said, this direct I give it a 7. 6.
Yeah.
No, 7.
I give it a 7, a solid 7. Yeah.
Like
it has. Go ahead.
Oh no,
gave it a 4.
That's my number.
No, CJ gave it a 4, of course.
Because I took it as a lot of these games are not for me, but for somebody kind of took away.
I mean, it's definitely a good enough variety. I think in like variety of what's being shown, it's like I'd give it an 8. I think overall for like appeal for me, it's like a 4.
Right.
Because I don't know if any of the games, I'm looking through the list now. I don't know if any of the games I'll actually play.
Right.
There are some games that I'm glad that are coming out, like Metroid 4. I'll probably check it out, but it also depends on what this price point is going to be and how long it's going to stay there because I don't know if I like Metroid enough to shell out like $60 or $70 for this game.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be up there. That's one of them games that we're not big fans. We'll play it, but we're not big fans. But the fans, oh yeah, they're gonna be up there.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, they're absolutely going to, and that's why for me, with a game like Metroid, I have to care enough about the source material, and I don't know if I'm that big on it. Like if I'm gonna do a first person shooting aliens or monsters type of game, like I might just download Halo Infinite and call it a day, or like Doom Eternal and be like, I'm good.
Right. Or but go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm surprised that one game they haven't remastered yet that does involve shooting aliens, and that's Contra. Old school Contra. I'm like, out of all these classics that y'all are remaking and rebooting or whatever, y'all haven't done Contra yet, and that was like one of the first shooting alien games that we played as kids was Contra.
I just want a more updated Galaga, and I think I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Well, or Star Fox, like
yes.
Star Fox.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Star Fox.
What are we? Like we're treating it as if it didn't matter, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Star Fox is like one of my favorite Nintendo IPs, and it's like, and the reason why Star Fox annoys me now is because I've only had I feel like the last 12 years has just been me being annoyed by Fox as a character on Smash Brothers and having to fight them.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to being able to appreciate him in his game world. Like Star Fox 64, I played a lot of that.
Me too.
A lot. And I was disappointed when we got the Star Fox Adventures for GameCube.
A lot of people said they didn't like that.
It just didn't hit the way it needed to, but it could. It's like, maybe for Switch 2 we'll get a Star Fox game.
Maybe, hopefully.
But that's what I'm about to say. Like a lot of these, I think these are a lot of I want to say throwaway, but this is not the main event type of situation because
no, of course, because next month we're getting
next week.
Next month we're getting, which is next month. We're saying the same thing.
Right.
We're getting the Switch 2 Direct. Now, do you guys believe the rumors about the Direct as far as the release date? Because a lot of there was a speculation that okay, you're announcing in April for a Christmas or a holiday sort of 2025 release for the system, but there are some people saying that the Switch 2 is actually we're going to get this Direct and the Switch 2 is actually coming out in the summer.
I believe it.
Do you think it's coming in the summer, or do you think it's coming holiday 2025?
I'm thinking between summer and holiday.
I think summer.
I think so. I think. Okay, hear me out.
It's going to be one.
Okay. So I'm thinking at the end of summer it's going to be released.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of think it's coming out early too.
Mm-hmm.
But at first I was like, it seems silly to release it this quickly. After sort of just now really announcing that it's happening. But I think with the economy, with the world the way that it is in certain ways, with finances being what they are, I think it makes more sense to release it in the summer. So you give people basically 6 months or 4 months of time between summer and the end of the year to to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And
as
plus,
opposed to just at holiday and then not really getting that. I think they want those third quarter and fourth quarter sales to be as high as possible.
And plus, for the nerds who really want it, once we got our tax refunds, they're like, "Oop, that going into the savings to the Switch come out."
Oh yeah.
And plus, like I said, they probably do have something for the holiday season. They're probably gonna be like a special edition type of Switch kind of situation with a bundle pack, because some close to that. But,
or at least a high level game.
Yeah,
like I could see them coming out with the Switch 2 in late summer, like Devon is saying, and maybe the rinky-dink opening games plus maybe a Mario Kart. Was it 9 now? Are we at 9 or 10?
Yeah, 9.
Okay, right. One behind the Fast and the Furious, right. So I could see them coming out with like a Mario Kart 9 being a game there. But then for holiday season, maybe there's a Mario game. Maybe there's like an updated Zelda game or something like that. Because I don't know if they're coming out with a new one this year. Right. But I could see them being like, oh, here's the HD version of Tears of the Kingdom, but for Switch 2. Or some patch that allows because there's what's the expression? It's backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Because they are implementing, I think next week also, they're implementing the digital card.
Yeah, the virtual card. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the virtual game card. And so I do feel you on that. Like it could be it could be a special edition version of the Switch 2. But I also think that they're probably going to try to release another A-level game around the holidays too, because I doubt that they're going to have a bunch of major. I feel like we just got 2 Mario games. We just got a new Zelda game. There aren't really many major IPs for Nintendo that have yet to that haven't come out with a new game in a while. Like Metroid Prime is one of them. So speaking of which, is there anything from Nintendo for you guys that you want to see them make a new game for the Switch 2? Like something that hasn't been done in a while. Like my thing, I'll just say what we were just talking about, Star Fox for me.
Yeah, that would definitely be mine.
But is there any other in the cut games you guys have enjoyed that you feel like hasn't gotten to do in a while? Or
Castlevania.
Okay. Have you heard of that game? What is it called? Is it Castlevania Rising? There's a game that came out, and I want to say it's in the same world as Castlevania, where you get to build your castle and go out and fight things. I don't know if it's called Castlevania Rising, but I think it's called something. Because I'm pretty sure in the preview I saw Alucard or some sort of vampire character, and so the whole premise is you can go out and fight monsters.
You mean Vampire Rising or V Rising? Yeah,
V Rising. Yes, that. Are you interested in that game?
I'm reading it now. Yeah, I'll give it a look, but it does say it's getting a Castlevania crossover.
It does say it's getting what are the it's that you're referring to?
Okay, V Rising will be getting a Castlevania crossover called Legacy of Castlevania.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I wanted to say it was advertised as if it was tied into that world in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you're the Castlevania stan of the group.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. For me, I say Golden Sun.
Okay.
Okay.
They haven't made a new Golden Sun game since the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll take a remaster of the first 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, that's IP that they kind of threw to the side because it was such a popular game.
Yes, I remember the popularity of that back with the 3DS. I don't think I ever had a 3DS.
I think the first 2 was on,
but I do remember Golden Sun was a lot of people. What are you playing? Golden Sun?
You said Golden Sun?
Yes.
Okay.
I know the first 2 was on Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
And the third one was on either it was the Nintendo DS or the Nintendo 3DS.
It was on Game Boy Advance and 3DS.
Okay.
We had Dark Dawn on 3DS. Yeah.
We're talking about getting hooked to the game. I was hooked to the game,
But
and there was no voice acting back then.
but you know what? And I know this may be a long shot, but I actually kind of want like a new Kid Icarus game, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they made it. Well, not like a recent Kid Icarus, but
right.
It's been a minute, but I think they tried to give us a more updated version of it sometime within the last 15 years. I feel like just because of the popularity of Pitt as a character on
Smash.
In Smash. Yeah. But I don't know if it was.
Oh yeah, it was 2012.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that
it was. Oh yeah, 2012. So that was right.
That was
right after. Yeah, that was right around. What was Wii's Smash Brawl?
Yeah,
that was right around Brawl.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's definitely got some things coming up. I think I think some of these games will be very exciting for the people who are interested in them. But again, I think overall, personally, it's a 4. Like they've done better than they've done during the ones where we were like, this just could have been Raven Mail.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if I could say this one could have just been Raven Mail, but it's almost there for me. It's almost like this could have just been a newsletter email.
Raven Mail.
Cause that Pokemon present, it's like, okay, we're gonna introduce 8 mobile games. Like, you could have sent that as a tweet.
Like, I still get over that scene in Thor. I had meetings that could have been. I had meetings that could have been Raven Mail. Had meetings about Raven Mail. Meetings that could have been Raven Mail. I was like,
yeah. So to tie into what you were talking about earlier about the like Nintendo, because now Nintendo has their app where where you can like
is it Nintendo Daily?
Something like that, where now you can get updated information from Nintendo, and it's like this also could have been an email, but
right? Exactly.
Right. And what's the point of that? They leaking your shit every day. So what's the point? We gonna go to
Nintendo Today. It's called Nintendo Today. And I mean, people are still gonna leak things
today for you, tomorrow for me.
Right.
And so they released on there, not that long after doing this direct, that the live action Legend of Zelda movie is a go.
Okay.
And it will be released, what is it, summer of 2027? 27, yes. And people have noted that is 1 week after the release of Sonic the Hedgehog 4, which already has a release date. I didn't even realize that until Zelda got released. And people were like, but that's a week after Sonic 4. And I'm like, you already knew when Sonic 4 was coming?
So wait, March 26, 2027. That's a week after Sonic?
Well, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. That's like a week.
I'm saying that because I'm saying that because normally Sonic releases around the holidays. So I'm like, it's weird. Okay.
everybody wants to see Amy early. Okay.
And so, I mean, I do.
Okay, Amy Rose.
I was like Mecha Sonic and Amy. Okay, let's do this. So I have to be incredibly transparent with y'all. I am not excited at all about this live action Zelda movie.
That's not surprising.
I will say that I wished that the idea for a live action Zelda died when Netflix and Nintendo tried to do it back in 2015, and somebody from Netflix idiotically released or leaked that information, and as a result of it leaking, Nintendo got spooked because Nintendo loves to keep everything close to the vest until they actually reveal it, and they broke up the deal and it died. I thought it would have stayed dead, but like
Somebody gave it a
Voldemort and
revive,
his
though.
Horcruxes, there were still shards of its soul out there.
Somebody gave
and
it a
it's
phoenix down.
Right.
It's resurrected itself. Or somebody discovered all the Dragon Balls and made a wish. And it's back. And I think for me, it's like, do I want to see a live action representative world of Legend of Zelda? Maybe, but I feel like that's not the best medium to have a Legend of Zelda movie.
Right.
I feel like this could have been like a Studio Ghibli thing. This could have been an animated.
That would be pretty.
This could have been an animated movie, a la the Mario movie, or the Super Mario Brothers movie that gave us this world. Because my biggest problem is Link doesn't talk.
I was just about to say that.
Link does not talk.
He does.
So what are we doing in a live action movie for an hour and a half to 2 hours with him being the protagonist? Like, is it just him going to be nodding and like and grunting and stuff? Like, are we going to get a like?
Right.
Are we getting attack noises?
Right.
Or will they decide to make him speak? And will making him speak ruin the entire aesthetic?
That's
probably going to ruin the entire aesthetic.
Like, I'm scared because this could be
because the thing
really
about
bad.
that is you have a perception of what Link sounds like in your mind.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't match the movie, it's gonna be
Chris Pratt.
Right, exactly. Because I'm about to say Chris Pratt. I'm about to say Chris Pratt.
Gonna have a Will of New Jersey accent.
Don't worry, Zelda. We'll get them.
Right. Don't worry. It's a go time. Like, no, that doesn't work. It didn't work, Chris. It didn't work.
Lord.
No, he opens his mouth and he sounds exactly like Vin Diesel from the Fast series.
Oh my gosh.
We are family.
Right. Zelda's like, how are we gonna get through this? Like a family.
I'm gonna play my flute.
Right. How are we gonna get up there? I'm gonna play my flute and the bird will come.
I just don't. I guess it's a trend to make everything like action, but you could, like I say, like season.
It's scary.
You could have made it into a cartoon,
right?
Or made it into a feature film movie.
I think that's what it was supposed to be on. It was supposed to be a cartoon like Mario, I believe.
It was a live action. The Netflix thing was supposed to be a live action.
Oh,
thing,
yes. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. And so people were like, well, then who are you gonna get to play Link in this, that, and the other? And then after recently, because there was a little bit of a stirring of, is there gonna be a live action thing, and who might we cast? And so a couple of years ago, because of the popularity of the Percy Jackson show, they were like, the guy who plays Percy Jackson could play Link, and I'm like, no. Like, he has a look that could sort of fit, but he's also like right at that age where you're now like becoming a man, and it's not gonna work for Link. Like, so that's the other part, because if this does succeed, whom are they getting for Link? Because Link's gonna have to grow, but Link, while he's older than he looks, he's always looked perpetually like a child.
Yep.
Right.
Or like a very young man.
Yeah.
And so I don't know whom they would get that would work for if they did 3 movies over the span of like 6-7 years. And so I'm like, to me, I'm just scared about all of the things that live action could ruin.
Yeah.
As it pertains to this, and it doesn't make me excited for it. It makes me like very apprehensive.
I remember when they did an AI to see what Tom Holland would look like as Link, and I was just like, oh, not bad, but I still don't want it. But he didn't.
Timothy Chalamet,
not Timothy Chalamet.
I already know Jack Black gonna be playing Gandalf. So.
No, he's not. No.
Zelda.
Right. We need somebody that can look and sound evil.
I know.
Ooh, can we get Omar Sy?
Ooh,
who's that?
That's a good one.
Look him up, please.
Okay, I will.
And when you see him, you'll be like, "Oh, him." I'm like, he has the form to maybe be a Ganondorf. Excuse me. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Okay, him.
But I don't like it. To me, it's just like who? Because who's gonna be Zelda? Who's gonna be Link? Who's gonna be Ganondorf? Who's gonna be any of these characters? And then how much are they buying into the artistic element of Legend of Zelda? Because it is especially with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, it is a very distinct animated style. And how do you depict that in live action without it looking feeling corny, without it feeling too cheesy, without it feeling too campy, and have the protagonist talk very little? Like,
what story? What story they gonna tell?
Right, exactly. Where are they gonna pull from?
Majora's Mask.
The beginning, like I would say this: is it going to be the beginning? Maybe Legend of Zelda 2: Link's Awakening. Maybe. A Link to the Past or Ocarina of Time. They got to start with either one of those, or start with one of those, because they kind of you still have to go on a quest to get the Master Sword in all three of those, and I think that's what the build-up is. But they could also start with Skyward Sword, which I think would be okay-ish. Not too. I don't want a Skyward Sword start out though. It's like, no, let's not do that.
Well, maybe it'll get leaked again, and it'll.
Right. But
I mean, there are some tales that are having these live action remakes that maybe have like elements that will influence, like, for example, the How to Train Your Dragon cartoon series or cartoon movie series, and they did also have a cartoon series on Netflix, but like that's getting a live action. I can sort of see some elements of like the Hiccup character in the way Link is portrayed in a sort of fantasy world. I don't know. I need to see a trailer. I think if I see a trailer, I can determine, like, is this a bad idea or could this work?
Right.
Now, Nintendo usually puts a lot of effort into this stuff. Like, the Mario movie wasn't amazing, but it was good. Like, it was solid. You know, and of course it made over $1 billion, 1.3 billion.
Yeah.
Like, it made a lot of money. So I think they'll at least be able to give me something serviceable, but live action can go so wrong so fast.
It can.
Like, let's quickly have a moment of silence for The Last Airbender. Okay, that's enough.
Which one?
Okay, all right, that's enough. The Last Airbender, but M. Night Shyamalan, the Last Airbender.
Oh, the one that got his key card revoked.
Right. Okay. So
it's like that can go bad. It can just be really, really bad. Like Craven. Like, not everything.
That CGI Rhino, oh my god.
Half of the Disney live action remakes of their animated films, like Beauty and the Beast.
Right.
It can go bad. Fast.
And you say a name wrong, like going back to The Last Airbender. As soon as he said Ong instead of Aang, people like
right. Yes, Sammy. The trailer is out. Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely.
And the Lilo and Stitch one is out too. In case nobody, the teaser.
Oh, that's another.
Yeah,
that's another one that I'm like, I don't. No. Absolutely not.
Only thing they probably got right is Stitch,
and
maybe the little girl,
and the fact that they'll mention Ohana like enough times. That's about
right.
It. Mm-hmm. Stitch is like the only thing that feels like Stitch.
Yep.
I'm like, they literally got Courtney B. Vance to play Bubbles. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Cobra Bubbles. Like, he doesn't look anything like,
Not at all.
And I'm like, where was Ving Rhames? If you're gonna get an old black guy, like, why not just get the guy who voiced him?
Right.
Did Ving say no? Was he too busy doing the last? Was he too busy doing
Mission
the last
Impossible?
Mission Impossible? Like,
no,
you
but
know
also
how many big black men you could have got that play Bubble?
Holiday Heart 2.
no, please no. You are wrong, Cedro.
I think we
Look. Everybody direct all their hate mail to Cedro.
Holiday Heart 2, the last holiday.
Right, not the last. But also, but before we move on to our next topic, also we might look at this for fun next at some point, but there is a actual Powerpuff Girls live action trailer out there in the world. There actually is.
It's so bad. It's so
I'm
bad.
not gonna watch that.
It is so.
It is so bad. I wanted to discuss it. Just
please. You have to. You of all people have
just
to
for hilarity. Just
spend,
for hilarious reasons.
You of all people have to spend like a minute and 40 seconds of your time to watch it, just so that we all can have the reference whenever we bring it up in the future. Because I understand, like. You remember we got the idea. They were like, "Oh, we're doing a live action Powerpuff Girls for CW, but they're going to be adults now." And everybody was like, "I don't understand." And then they told us the cast, and we were like, "We still don't understand." And then all we heard was that it was canceled. Right? There was a trailer that emerged, and apparently recently it's been leaked or released.
Yes.
And when you watch it, you can understand why a room full of like board members of a company would look at that and be like, "No, cut this shit now."
Okay,
it's bad in a funny way.
Yes, it is bad in a funny way.
Really bad.
Yeah.
But we're gonna move on to
not a black Professor Plutonium.
And you know who it is? You know what? It's Dorian from Clueless playing Professor Plutonium. That was also the other part that tripped me out too.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
and he's also played on Scrubs.
I don't understand why, but it
that don't even make sense.
Not that we said you should watch it.
Not now.
He's just like, I'm watching it now in live commentary. I love it.
But then, what do you mean not now? But hey, go ahead. But we're gonna move on to the this announcement teaser of the Avengers Doomsday's cast, the chairs. We're gonna look at the chairs right quick just to see who's coming for the first part of Avengers Doomsday. So, who's coming so far? I think there may be more, but this is who's coming so far.
Thor. This is fantastic. Black Captain America. Soldier, we have Black Panther.
Ant-Man.
Discount Captain America. Namor.
Yep.
The Thing. Shang-Chi.
Elena Belova. Whatever. Beast.
How about that?
We got Falcon. We got Johnny Storm. We got the Red Guardian.
M'Baku.
What is Hannah?
Loki. Professor Xavier. Magneto. Mystique. Cyclops. Gambit. Mr. Fantastic. And of course, Doom himself. And Agatha all along reference. Like, shh. But yeah, that's who all's coming back so far for Avengers Doomsday.
It was technically the Quiet on Set.
Oh yeah, Yeah.
Because they're in production now. So the one name forgot very quickly, but Hannah John Kamen, that is the woman who plays Ghost.
Oh yeah.
In Ant-Man 2, and then also Thunderbolts upcoming. So this was cool, I guess. It was really weird that they made it like a 5-hour live stream that people complained about the entire time because of how long it took, but then also stayed and watched it for the entire time too. So people were
5
like,
hours
live. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so I guess y'all are a little late. When they debuted it, it was a 5-hour live stream. Every 15 minutes, they moved the camera to a new chair to reveal a name. So that was the original thing. Later, they truncated it into what we just watched.
Oh wow!
But the actual thing, it was like a day. It was like half of the middle of the day, just a live stream that started. And so there were a bunch of outlets that were like watching it. People were sort of like live streaming it on the side while they were doing other stuff like work. But people were complaining about it, but tuned fully in. Like it was one of the largest, or it was one of the largest live streams that Marvel has ever had. I think this is I think it's an interesting way to reveal something. I don't know if I would ever do it again in this fashion, but I would say that it did get the attention that it was supposed to get. It garnered what it was supposed to garner, and it's got people hyped in a way. The only knock I would say against this list of people they released is that, one, we know that it's not going to be the full list.
Right.
And two, why would you tell us the cast names of people who are going to be in movies that are upcoming, in which we know there's supposed to be stakes where some of them are dying? Like, does that make sense? It's like the Thunderbolts we know is a ragtag group of people. But the whole sort of aspect about their movie is that there's high stakes. They're going to be going against who knows what, plus Sentry. And the idea was that there's supposed to be stakes, and some of them ain't gonna make it, right? So then why give us the names of all the cast members who are gonna make it? Like, you basically spoiled some of the deaths, because we got all of the names of all of the Thunderbolts except Taskmaster.
Oh yeah.
And so it's just like, now some people have already confirmed, like not confirmed, but we basically already know that like Taskmaster is probably going to bite the dust in this movie, because the trailers, Taskmaster's only in like one part of the trailers, and every other scene that looks like it's further in the movie than that primary scene, Taskmaster's not there anymore. So people were like, I guess she's going to die. But this sort of confirms it in a way that feels spoilery. Like, I'm still going to be there and watch Thunderbolts, but like, why even give us this information?
Right. I see what you mean.
You know, it's like we're finding out all of the members of the Fantastic Four are going to be in this movie. Not saying that I was expecting anybody to die, any of them to die in the Fantastic Four movie, but like, some of the stakes with these superhero epics is that people die, like things are lost. And so for you to tell us, oh, don't worry about it, they're going to be in the movie after, it's like, well,
yeah,
like
you killed the stakes.
Where's the stake? Where are the stakes? You know, like, it does kill the stakes a little bit. Doesn't change me watching it or enjoying it.
Yeah,
but it does sort of change the, like, well, now I don't have to feel tense at all because I know who's going to be in the next thing. Right. So I feel like that is a little bit of a tiny bit of a miss. Like, maybe just tell us about Florence Pugh. You know what I mean? Like, maybe just say like Florence Pugh's character, Yelena, will come back.
Right.
Or Bucky, Sebastian Stan will come back. You know, the people that we've seen a bunch and we sort of know are not probably going to die, but like, maybe leave it in the air about David Harbour, Red Guardian, or Hannah John Kamen, her Ghost, or even the guy who plays Sentry, Louis Pullman, I believe is his name. It's like we don't know what the ending of Thunderbolts is supposed to be, but we sort of do now because we know who's going to be in.
Right.
We know who's going to be in Doomsday.
Yeah, they could have framed it better. Like they could have had like a couple of names, then a couple of them blacked out or something.
Yeah.
Not give you the full.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should.
Now, to be fair, some of this information gets put in channels that are legal and officialized that the Nerdvine is always tapped into. So it's possible that these names would have come out anyway. And so it could also be Marvel just trying to get ahead of that by like, oh, we'll just tell you.
That's true. This is leak culture.
Right. That's all it is now. Like we knew Andrew Garfield was going to be in No Way Home for like 3 years.
Right.
And he had to lie to everyone for a long time. And so it could be them trying to get out ahead of this, which I'm not necessarily opposed to, especially now that they are officially in production. So that information is going to start coming out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah.
You know, we're going to start getting like, oh, we saw this
drone shots and everything else.
We saw this footage of Florence Pugh in a big overcoat, like walking on a bridge somewhere. And it's like, oh, clearly Yelena Belova is in this. And so like, I get it. But there's still ways that I feel like could have been done so that you're not immediately spoiling some of the stakes of the two big summer movies you have coming up.
Right.
But I am happy. Like, I will ask you guys this: name me 2 people from this list of people we just saw that you were excited to see in this movie. I mean, I'm sorry. And by people, I mean their characters that they play in the MCU.
Honestly, this might sound weird when I say this one. I'm actually excited to see Thor because I want to see how they're going to reimagine him going forward. You know, apart from the previous movie or the previous 2 ish. Because I want to see if they're going to bring him back to being mighty. Well, of course, Jane was mighty Thor, but I'm talking about like real serious Thor, like the Thor that wants to get shit done. You know. And I had to pick another one, Ant-Man.
Okay, that's fair because a lot happened in Quantum Mania that sort of just hasn't been readdressed in a while.
Yeah.
James, you have any people that you're looking forward to seeing?
Oh, God, one name came across. God, Devon said it by the name of, like you said, Gambit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum. Yeah.
Gambit. Yeah, that shocked me too.
That shocked me. I was like, how they gonna incorporate, Gambit into the story? Because the last time we seen him was in Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yeah. Do you think it'll be that Gambit? Because we are in a multiverse.
That's true. I forgot that was a variant of Gambit. So, but that surprised me because we didn't have a Gambit movie, have we?
Nope.
No.
It was supposed to, but it got it got put in the back shelf.
No, we just had Gambit show up in X-Men Wolverine's origin.
Right. Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah.
And yeah.
That was a choice.
The movie was a choice. I didn't think Gambit was bad.
Right.
Movie. I just thought the entire movie was like that was
a choice.
That was a rough one. Okay. So Channing Tatum as Gambit is one that you're surprised about. Any others that you're
I gotta look at the list again.
No, you're fine. No, it's understandable.
But that's the one that like shocked me. The rest of it, like, okay, I can see it because we talked about it before. They did in the past movie, but Gambit just that was a random.
So I have 2, one younger, one older. One for the first one, Simu Liu, because in my opinion, like Shang-Chi was one of the best movies of Phase 4, or most entertaining movies of Phase 4 to me, and it's been like 4 years.
Yeah,
like it'll be like 5 years by the time 5 years and some change before we see him again, and like I've been clamoring to have some hand-to-hand good martial arts combat again in the MCU. So like, I'm glad that we'll finally get him back in live action, because the last time we heard from him was that What If episode where he did the voice acting for. So it's like, like that was cool, but let's actually bring him back. And then the cool thing is that we know that he's going to be one of the Avengers, or at least on the Avengers team, or maybe recruited for it during this movie or something. So I like to see how he incorporates. That'll be fun. And the other one, I'll say that it surprised me a little, in the vein of what James said. But the other one that I'm excited to see is Ian McKellen return as Magneto.
Oh yeah.
Like that to me is like, oh, like we got Patrick Stewart in Doctor Strange 2. And so like that wasn't necessarily like too big of a surprise to see his name come up again. But like Ian McKellen returning, I am very interested to see what X-Men group they're doing, because this to me feels like they're going to have some like this movie is going to incorporate elements of the X-Men versus Avengers. Or it'll be the MCU's version of like X-Men versus Avengers, or Avengers versus X-Men. And so I'm kind of interested to see how that translates, because the Russos have done translations of comic stories before, like The Winter Soldier was one. Captain America Civil War was another one. Like Civil War is a big thing that they changed completely for cinema. But it actually worked as a really good movie and story. So I'm very interested to see how they'll incorporate this sort of Avengers X-Men thing. Also the X-Men group. So we've got Patrick Stewart, so Professor X. Did we see Alan Cumming? Was he also there? So it's like we've got Professor X, we've got Nightcrawler, we have Ian McKellen as Magneto, we've got James Marsden returning as Cyclops, we've got is it Femke Janssen?
I didn't see her name.
We didn't see her. Okay, we didn't see her name, but that could be some of the things that they're waiting to reveal, because we also think that there's a possibility that Halle Berry might show back up too. I don't really see it. I feel like if we're excited to see these other people, why not her? Like
exactly. I'm excited to see Halle Berry. Yes, I am excited to see Halle Berry come back.
I mean, if she comes back, I'm cool with it. Now, I also know that if she comes back, they're not going to make it nearly as bad as some of her other appearances.
Right.
But I also don't think that those appearances were on her.
No, they weren't.
Like, I do think that a lot of the problem with her character, with Storm in the other X-Men movies, was that they just wrote her poorly, and Holly did as best as she could. You know, like what are you gonna do when you write the character terribly and come up with terrible wigs?
and people still would complain. No, that was Halle. Halle was doing all that. Like, no, it was not. It was not Halle. It was the writing and the production.
Yeah, I just like, and I understand what people are saying. I just feel like you have to understand that if they're bringing these older X-Men actors back to reprise the roles that they've done before, you have to assume that most of them, if not all of them, are probably going to die.
Right.
Because we're going to have new people being these X-Men characters in the future, because the very next saga after this one is the Mutant Saga.
Right, and
we're not going to have Patrick Stewart as Professor X for the next 10 years, because we might not have Patrick Stewart for the next, because we might not have Patrick Stewart for the next 10 years. If we're
right.
And so, like, you sort of have to let this play out. So even if they bring Holly back, it's not like she's going to be Storm for the rest of the future.
Exactly.
You know, and I understand that the nerd contingent, especially the blurred contingent, they just don't want to see another light-skinned Storm. And I get that. I do too. I really get it. But if they bring back Cyclops, Patrick Stewart as whatever, Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler, we got Magneto coming back, we've got all this stuff happening. Kelsey Grammer reprising as Beast. Now, it'll probably be the 3D Beast that we saw at the end of the Marvels more than him painted up and in like a bodysuit.
Right.
But if they're bringing back these old people to play these characters, I don't see any problem with Halle Berry
Me
and
either.
some
Me
of
either.
those other people coming back to do it, because I know that it's just going to be for this group, and going forward we're going to have a different group of X-Men. So like, it's okay.
I will have a constant eye roll every time she come across screen.
James, be nice.
I mean, that's
I
fine.
am being nice.
That's fine.
I could say more.
Okay.
Just a permanent eye roll.
Okay.
Yikes.
Right.
Do you feel the same way about Alexandra Shipp?
Was it
Now
the other Storm from the younger Storm that they had?
Oh yeah, same eye roll.
Okay.
And the eye roll is, just so that we're clear and understand, it is because of what?
I believe that they need to have a darker version of the Storm in the seat.
And so that's the only gripe you have.
Well, with Halle Berry,
dark enough. Like, I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I just feel like is your only gripe, or your only main gripe,
with the second one? Yes. Enough. Like I said, I'm just being funny.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I agree with y'all with Halle Berry that she was in a bad movie with bad writing and a bad.
And the bad wigs. Yeah, we know the bad wigs.
Baby, there was now black person doing the wigs. Okay,
because look, if she come out with a 32-inch bust down the clouds, I'm good. You know, hey. Or that's the pageant hair. I mean, she can have the pageant hair too, but I need to see some kind of textured hair in that wig. I need a textured hair wig.
So the other question is like, I hear so many people, like, because I actually fully agree with you, James. I believe that if we are casting a new Storm, not necessarily like reprising someone who's already been Storm, but like if we are casting a new Storm, she need to be dark.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, I don't care what else you do. I mean, I do want her to be a good actor as well, but like, besides that, like, I don't care what else you do. You better make her browner, because to be technical, both Storms we've gotten were both like half black.
Right.
Like, they're both mixed in a way that's not quite the level of brown that we are used to from our Lightning Queen. Now, I'll say, like, I agree with you on that. My question then becomes, though, because so many people are like, well, not her. But who? Because we've had a few people in the last, few months or half a year or so come out and say like, oh yeah, it would be cool to play Storm. And like, immediately the black nerd contingent is like, hell no, die. We hate you. And I'm like, but then who do you want to play Storm? Because it seems like everyone who says that they're going to play her, whether they're brown enough or not, everybody's like, no. So then who is the person?
Because
like, who's young enough, dark enough, good enough of an actor to play Storm now?
Right.
I would go with
That's what I like, and you don't necessarily have to have an answer, but like, anybody who's watching, like, let us know what you think, because I'm very interested. Because I hate when somebody is constantly knowing something, but they never have anything to offer as a replacement. You know, people are like, oh, somebody was snubbed for this, or somebody didn't get this position they should have gotten, they were snubbed. And it's like, well, whom should they have replaced? You know, like, we can say somebody like isn't good enough for a role, but like, do you have an option as to who is? Or are you just saying no to everybody because you just have like a bias? You know what I mean? So like, I always ask, like, so what do you guys have any thoughts about that? Like, who might be young enough to do it?
My original person, she played the Koye, so that kind of took her out the running.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I would go with Anna. I'm gonna say her last name correctly, Diop, but Anna Diop from Titans, who played Starfire, would be a good pick for me.
But I was saying, what age? Like I said, if we do,
okay,
we are casting a Storm. Like, what age are we?
Yeah, that's the other part. It's like if we do a Storm and we do a new, like if we're doing a mutant saga, I am assuming that every single mutant that we get, besides the already adult or older ones, like Magneto,
Professor X,
etc., right?
and Wolverine.
Yeah, like Sinister, you know, like these types of characters from this world. It's like those are probably like they can be any old age, right? Like it doesn't really matter. But when you're going for the main core of the mutants, I feel like they're gonna try to go young.
Yeah.
So I doubt we're gonna get anybody who's like 40. I feel like they're gonna try to do like 20s to 30s hiring for these characters, and then try to make them like they're gonna be a younger group of people. I don't think they're going like full like X-Men Evolution. We're all teenagers,
right?
But I do feel they're gonna try to do it young, so that this saga, if it lasts 6 years or something like that, or 6-10 years, like they can have these people around for 10 years and still be a role. So like I think that's probably the era. I do think that you said her name is Anna Diop, right?
Yeah.
I think she's a solid choice. I'm a little worried about age at this point, but I'm not sure how old she is. Like she looks beautiful and young, like, but
she's 37.
37. Okay, so
yeah.
It just depends on what they want Storm to be, because there have been some X-Men stories where Storm is like the older X-Men to the younger ones. Like she's a teacher at the school. You know what I mean? Like so it just depends on what they're how they're trying to depict these.
Now, what comes to mind? Like I said, she's not. This just comes to mind right now. But she's. I'm thinking Coco Jones.
Oh yeah.
Because if they keep doing, you know, like you say, long runnings of a series, she's young enough to keep it going.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, 27. Yeah.
I can see that. And Coco Jones is in
Bel Air.
She plays
she's Hillary?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I've seen like 2 episodes of that show, so I sort of vaguely remember. I know she's been in some other stuff. I need to look her up to get a better reference point. I was also thinking about I don't know the names of these people, and I feel really bad for not knowing, but there was a woman in the latest or the last Jurassic World movie.
DeWanda Wise.
I like her. I don't know if the public feels like she's brown enough, but I do think she's like a medium brown.
Yeah.
But like I think she could.
That'd be my second choice.
I think she could do a solid job. I'm also interested in the actor who played. Do you remember the show? Oh gosh, do I even remember what the show was called? It had. Oh my gosh, it had Queen Latifah in it.
Equalizer?
Brandy was in it.
Star. Oh, you talking
But
about Ryan Destiny or Ryan? Yes. Yeah.
Because I've seen some
all right, IMDb, knowing these names.
Hey, look, if I need to know a black woman, I know whom to ask now. Thank you.
I know that right.
Oh, speaking of black women doing great things, y'all need to check out when it comes out that G20 movie where Viola Davis gets to do a Die Hard.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to see that. We showed the trailer. Did we show the trailer on this cast yet? I think we did a couple of weeks ago, but a while ago, but I could be wrong. But yeah.
But yes, I love when a woman does a Die Hard.
Yes,
that's like my favorite. That's one of my favorite.
Doing it. Yes, yes.
I know somebody.
Yes,
I know somebody said like a long time ago. She has the personality, but I just don't know. A lot of people are saying Kiki Palmer, but I see her more as Black Rogue.
I see her as a rogue.
Rogue, yeah, like,
Rogue. I see her as Rogue.
And if we are going to do a race swap for a character, that would be the one that I'd be like perfect with. I'd be like, yeah.
Yep.
Because I think she's got the sass. I think she's got the acting talent to be able to give us the swag and attitude of Rogue, while also giving us like the endearing softness that she has with somebody like Gambit. I also would be interested to see, like, I don't know if we'll get this because Channing is also getting up there, so we might replace Gambit as well. But
of course, yeah.
I could see her in Gambit. I mean, I'm sorry, I could see Kiki's Rogue and Channing's Gambit having like a thing and it actually being able to work on screen. So yeah, I would leave her for Rogue.
Yeah.
Personally, but I don't know. Would they be bold enough to do that? Because they have been like very MAGA in their their latest superhero depictions, because they're like, oh, all this diversity in phases 4 and 5 wasn't really working, so let's bring Fantastic Four. Let's do the Thunderbolts. Like let's have all of these.
But if they did choose a woman of color, a black woman, it would be giving Rogue her original origin roots, because she was supposed to be a black woman originally in the comics anyway. But of course, corporate white America was not happy with that, so they changed to a white Southern woman. But she was originally supposed to be black, so I'm still here for it. I think they need to give her that.
Also, what was I gonna say? So, speaking of like originally supposed to be something but ended up being changed with Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, like she was supposed to be a mutant, but because of the contractual restrictions and stuff, was it Iger at the time? I think it was. I think before he left and came back, they were trying to push Inhumans, so they made her an Inhuman instead. And so her origin was in the comics as an Inhuman, but she originally from the creator was supposed to be a mutant. That's why they made her a mutant in the MCU. Because they were nodding to the original creators. And also Marvel seems to be like, it's like the Inhumans exist, but they kind of want to put as much distance between themselves and the TV show that she'll never be. She'll never see the light of day again.
But we might get an Inhumans project somewhere down the line with Avengers Doom. I mean, it depends, because we got Avengers Doomsday and we got Battle World. I'm thinking with Battle World we'll see more Inhumans than in Doomsday, honestly. So that's how I feel at the moment.
I mean, what I'm hoping is what they do in Secret Wars is not only like reset, or Doomsday might be the one that actually technically resets stuff, but like Secret Wars not only resetting the MCU, but I hope that Secret Wars ends up being, let's try to get as many of the Marvel actors that we've had in projects that have either been successful or failed over the last like 20 years or so, and put them in this movie. So like I would like to see the Defenders from the Netflix show, including Finn Jones as I would like to see I think that's the only place where it could work.
Right.
And then we can be done with it after that movie, or however, if it's going to be a part 1, part 2, whatever. But like after that movie, we can be done with all of that to move on to the next phase of what the MCU is going to be, and we only bring over a select few that we pick, right? Or they pick, I guess. But like nod to those things having existed. Like I could see we doing a Battle World and all of the people from Inhumans, the TV show up as the royal Inhuman family. And finally, Medusa doesn't have her fucking haircut.
Thank you. Jeez, that was the worst thing they could have done.
We don't have the budget to animate her hair. So let's just make the storyline that she gets her haircut for the whole season. Like, so I could, like, some of these characters, in my opinion, deserve to be not only done right, but if possible, and Deadpool and Wolverine has shown that it is, it's like, if possible, do it right by the characters who played them originally in these live action things.
Right.
As opposed to, let's just do somebody new and pretend like it never existed. No, it absolutely existed. I was there for all of those gruesome episodes. Unfortunately. But I could see the Inhumans returning in that way. Now, they did bring gosh, I forgot his name too. But they did bring the actor who played Black Bolt he was in Doctor Strange too.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like they did sort of tease it, but I could see him coming back and being the head of like the Inhumans family, where you got all of the other people that were in that show too. Now, many of them might not be interested just because of how much flack that show got, and they might not want that sort of blowback again. I know I read something recently where apparently like Jenna Ortega was in Iron Man 3 and she had like a line or two, but they cut that scene from the movie, so it never actually got shared.
And now people are mad that she come back as White Tiger.
And so they interviewed her about it, and she was like, she basically said that she wasn't interested in joining the MCU just because like she was young, it was one of her first roles, and they sort of burned her on that. And so she's like, no, I'm not really interested. And so like those things to me I think are interesting. Now her role wasn't important. Like she wasn't somebody who was a real character in the Marvel comics. She was just like a girl who had a line. But there's so many things that can be done. I hope that they try to do justice by the old stuff without going too far with it. Right. You know, it's really easy to go from this is a great movie with a lot of characters to it's just a cameo fuckfest and like there's no real substance.
Right.
And I thought that the Deadpool and Wolverine showed us that it's possible.
Yeah.
That you can have a good movie while also having a lot of cameos of movies that weren't necessarily considered to be good. And, you know, because like we got Elektra showing up and people were excited about her when she popped on the screen in the theater. People were like, oh my God, Elektra. And I'm like, y'all hated every part of that movie and probably still hate it now. But just seeing her show up was enough.
Yeah.
It was a decent movie. Same thing with Blade.
Yeah.
Only one Blade. It's only ever going to be one Blade.
And at this point, you might be right.
You're right.
Because I'm gonna keep it. We'll keep it till next week. But there is some bad. I guess how you look at it, it's bad news about Blade in the MCU. It's good news. It's like bad news and then slightly good news that has happened. So we'll get to that next week, though. But yeah, it might only be one Blade for now.
I'd rather they take their time, and if they do bring Blade, do it right, then just putting something together and just to pass the story along. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes with Blade. As of right now, it is not on anybody's schedule, and there's a reason for that. And we'll get more deep into that in either next week or sometime in the future, because there is a lot going on around the whole Blade project right now, as they just announced. It's just like, wow,
the girls are fighting.
I mean, they really just need to wait. Like James said, like we've all been saying this whole time that it's been in production hell. It's like they just need to wait. Like bring it out in the Mutant Saga. The Mutant Saga is a perfect place for Blade to show up, for the other supernatural occult heroes and people to show up. Like I'm waiting for like Doctor Strange has been fantastic.
Midnight Sun,
but I need a Brother Voodoo to show up. You know what I mean? Like there's some stuff that can really take off in this Mutant Saga that's not just about mutants. You know what I mean? Just like every saga has had different elements and areas of the universe exposed. Like Moon Knight was enough, you know, like the little occult supernatural sort of thing.
Werewolf by Night was and Man Thing was.
I forgot.
Right. And so it's like we've got those things that happen, and that teased enough. Now we also had what's his name? Black Knight or
Carrington. What's his last
from
name? With the
Eternals, yeah.
With the
tease at
Ebony
the end.
Blade. Yeah.
And so we got all of these teases of those things. You can just reference them again, bring them up in the Mutant Saga, have that, because I feel like Blade would be better served in a world that has a more focal point on the mutants. Then he would fit into this one. Because it's like say you get a Blade movie done now, where does it fit? Why would it fit? Like, why would we want it right now? Like, no, let's like you said, wait. Like James said, wait, make sure it's good, make sure it's excellent, actually, and then do it that way. And then you can have maybe a Blade saga where he starts off one way, but then like eventually maybe his daughter gets introduced. And so you can sort of have that generational flow going as opposed to like just trying to stuff something in a place where it sort of doesn't belong. That's why I'm also glad that it seems like the Black Panther 3 is also going to be after Secret Wars, because I'm like, I don't need you to try to stuff that into this.
Do not.
Because Denzel said, "Oh yeah, we're making Black Panther 3."
I'm like, years and years. I mean, not years and years, but years after.
Well, I mean, Ryan Coogler recently, because of the Sinners movie that's out, during the interview press tour for that, like he did come out and say, like, yes, I've talked to Denzel. He is very interested, and as long as he stays interested in work and doing this, then there will be a place for him. And so he said he's working on that too. So, and he also said in that interview that it's coming sooner than you think. Now that could still be 2028 or 2027 or whatever. Like it could still be like a few, 3 years from now or so. But I do think that that's one of like the first movies in the new saga that they're like interested in bringing.
And that's the thing. We want Blade to have a cultural impact like Black Panther did. Like we don't want it to be like, okay, well, he would just, like I said before, he just here to move the story along. Now we did push him away. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We want him to be a staple.
But yeah, it's going to be it's going a lot going on. And I know people are going to jump up and be like, well, it only happened because he's Black, and I'm like, no, because there's been a lot of projects that have either been axed or put on the back burner way before Blade was even a thought. So stop going. It's a lot going on.
Came out. Some that came out should have been on the back burner.
Right, exactly. They should have been. But we got to understand that Marvel went through a phase. The MCU went through a phase where they were putting out stuff just to put it out, and they were like, no, and they were really losing their direction, and they're just rebranding themselves to go in a direction that will be fitting for them and for us fans. So y'all got to give this some time. Like Kamala Khan's Iman said, let them cook, give them time, let them cook. Okay, it's basically what she said. Let them cook. So
dealing with a lot of scandals and court cases too.
Right. So let them cook. And I mean, people are like, Marvel's getting away from itself. I'm like, they're rebranding themselves. Okay, y'all would be okay if y'all don't like it. It's all right.
A couple of years ago, y'all were begging for a superhero movie that worked.
Okay. But now they're like, Marvel's getting away from itself because of all the diversity and women being in lead roles and the Hulk being nerfed and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, give them time. And
random super quick side note is that the Young Avengers thing is moving forward. However, they're more than likely going to go with the name Champions, which was that other group of like young heroes that Miss Marvel was a part of.
Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, there was Patriot. It's basically like
Ironheart.
It's basically like a better name instead of just calling ourselves the Young Avengers.
Young Avengers,
but it was a group called Champions, and so it seems like they're going to go with that as the title. Still not sure fully who the group is going to consist of. It's interesting to me because at least in the MCU so far, a lot of the young heroes, a lot of them are women. So I'm sort of interested to like which of the male young stars are they bringing into this? Because clearly it's probably going to get Wiccan, Speed, right? It's like
probably Patriot,
probably,
probably,
but maybe not.
Yeah,
like he would definitely fill what you need, comic book accurate wise and diversity wise. But I don't know. Like, will it be the same kid that played him, or are they getting
probably not? They probably get somebody new.
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna recast him like they did.
Cassie Lane.
Cassie Lane.
Have the mouth looking at him saying, "Oh."
And what was her name? Was her name Stinger? What's her super? Is it Sting?
Stature?
Her name is Stature.
She has a few different names.
Okay.
It depends. She's gone, but like Stinger is one. She's gone. I want to say Stature is another one. She's had a few names. She's also just gone as Cassie Lang.
Yeah.
She's also just done the like. She's also just done the Jessica Jones thing, where it's like, "What's your superhero name?"
Jessica Jones. But what's your real name? Jessica Jones. But okay, before we wrap up, because we'll get to Daredevil next week. So just for reference and spoiler alert, he did finally put the suit back on this week. That's all I'm gonna say. And yeah, we'll get to those episodes next week of Daredevil. And also remember that Jessica Jones will be in season 2 of Daredevil Born Again. So she's already filming her scenes. So yay for that. So they already got season 2 coming out. And I believe they're trying to bring back all the Defenders, including Danny, the Danny Rand actor he's strongly rumored to return as Iron Fist. So
he definitely released a statement was it yesterday? He released a statement like within the last few days where he's like I just want to be given another chance or something like that because I feel like I could prove a lot of the stuff wrong. He's like, I'm very aware of how people feel about me, but I know that I could kill this. He's like, I know that I could kill this if I was given a chance.
James,
maybe. Like, this is my thing. Like, I'm fine with another chance in the scope of a group setting.
Right.
If we're going with a actual Iron Fist going forward, though, I need it to be somebody new.
I can agree.
Like, that's what I agree with
that.
Now, fairly enough, in the comics, there is a new Iron Fist.
There's a lot of them,
and he's an Asian guy, and so I'm like, we could do that too. Like, I really thought they were going to give us a new Iron Fist in Shang-Chi 2, but clearly that's going to be not happening for a while.
Yeah.
So I guess it'll maybe happen. Who knows? But I don't know. If they're bringing them back, bring them back. That's all I say.
Also,
bring the whole group back.
Yeah, bring the whole group back. Also, the Wolf King on Netflix has been good. I've only seen one episode so far. It's been good so far. And also, I went back and rewatched The Wheel of Time because somebody kind of grilled me about it. We were having a conversation on the phone, and they kind of grilled me about you. So you get a Lord of the Rings kind of show, and you just only. So I went back and started watching The Wheel of Time. It's actually good. So I do say, watch The Wheel of Time.
Yeah, The Wheel of Time is an interesting monster. I don't.
Yeah, it is.
It's like it's good, but it's also like not simultaneously, and so you never really know like how to feel about it because. It's like you're supposed to believe you're in this fantasy medieval sort of magical world, right?
Yeah.
And all these fantasy medieval worlds that have magic in it always have some sort of prophecy. There's always some chosen character that's supposed to fulfill some destiny, right? But like the main character that's supposed to be fulfilling this destiny, he just looks like an Abercrombie model. Like he never looks like he belongs in the show. If that makes sense. Like he feels like he should be in like 2024 and not like 1200 medieval world with dragons and like magic. It's odd. But I will say that the show tries very hard to do things, and a lot of the things that it does is pretty cool. Especially the way that they like any world that has magic in it. I love seeing how they depict the magic. And I do think that they did a really nice job in The Wheel of Time at finding a new way to show magic being used that's interesting and sort of fascinating about the information. Although I will say you probably will get more fulfillment by reading the book series.
That's always true. No matter what the series. Okay, it's not okay. Never mind.
No,
I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm
but
gonna leave it alone.
In this case,
Okay.
it is a little. It is for the most part, but it's always cool to see magic visualized.
Yeah,
and I like how people
I
keep coming up with new ways to do it.
And I can't wait for the second part of the final season of the Dragon Prince because, oh my gosh, it has been so great. The Dragon Prince is a great series overall, but yeah, it's developing to a nice, very great universe, I would say. And yes, I think this is their final season of Dragon Prince, or it should be. I don't know, but
I mean, who knows? They put out a new season every 6 months. So.
They do.
they'll be like season 5. It's like, didn't season 1 come out 2 years ago? Like, how do we?
Yeah, right, exactly.
The math ain't mathing.
Right, and I know we've done this list before. This will be on next week's list. But what are some shows that Netflix has canceled after 1 season or maybe 2 that you felt like did not deserve to be canceled? That's going to be on next week's show. Okay, but yeah, that's going to be on next week's show as well because I feel like
Marco Polo.
You said Marco Polo, yeah.
But you took mine. There you go.
Right. Well, but there are others, but yeah,
right.
I agree with that one too. But there are others out there that I was like thinking today, like, damn, why they cancel this? And that was just like, but that's Netflix for you. But we're gonna get off of here so we can go eat and get ready for this week. Everybody have a good week out there. Hopefully you all had a good time being here with us. We thank y'all. Have a good week. Until next Sunday. Peace out.